While he was representing the Bishop of Ankole Diocese, Right Reverend Sheldon Mwesigwa, at the Thanksgiving ceremony of Kigaragara Vocational Secondary School, Reverend Noel Eric called out parents who give more attention to girl children and tend to ignore the boy children to change their behavior immediately, giving reason that all children must be equal. The school function was held to thank God for the life and contribution of the late Engineer Johnson Mwesigwa, who was the board chairman of the school from 2013 to 2019 and later died in 2020. Reverend Noel further noted that if this attitude is not worked on as soon as possible, the same parents will fail to get responsible men to marry their girls because all efforts have been concentrated on girl children, neglecting boys, yet boys ought to be the future leaders of families. The practice, he said, has yielded more negative results than positive, with many boys now becoming useless in the society. Reverend Noel rallied parents in the district and other parts of the country to make a difference and use the same strategies used on girl children to empower young boys if responsible citizens are to come out of them in future.
Because when I made my observation, I have realized that the number of girls is greater than the number of boys. And in the presentations that were being made, I have realized also that the number of girls in the choir are greater than the number of boys. And it is my encouragement, because when boys are left behind, they tend to get involved in activities that destroy their lives, like alcoholism, all sorts of misbehaving. And finally we shall find we have good girls who can never get married to these boys who are not educated. So it is my encouragement to the parents to encourage a boy child so that they also match with the standard of girls that we have, so that we may have a better nation where we can foot together.
Byanyima, the Bukanga North MP, who was among the chief guests, also asked stakeholders in Ankole Diocese to support schools in this area in any way possible, and also urged the school leaders to get appropriate titles for their schools. In his speech, Julius Begumia, the head teacher of Kigaragara Vocational Secondary School, where the function was held, urged parents in the district to emulate Engineer Mwesigwa by educating their children and creating a bright future for them.
My message to the students and the entire community is that we should emulate the example of the late engineer. This is a person who was time conscious, this is a person who was hardworking, this is a person who loved education, and it's our prayer that we also emulate his example. I want to challenge the parents. We have started the construction of Engineer Johnson Mwesigwa's A-level classroom block, and this block is there to remember him. We are there to make sure that he remains in our memories. When we look there, we see Engineer Johnson Mwesigwa. So we want to request the parents to support the construction of this block such that it can be completed and serve the purpose.
Noenida Mwesigwa, the wife to the late Engineer Mwesigwa, also asked the parents not to give up on their children, but instead give them an education which will sustain them in life. She encouraged students to concentrate on their goal of achieving success. Isingiro District Education Officer Nkuba Godfrey encouraged parents to sacrifice anything they can to educate their children and ensure that the young generation is equipped with holistic package of education in order to have an enviable future. He also urged parents to play their role of instilling discipline in their children.
Education is the only way through which one can raise up from a poor socio-economic background to attainment of executive wing. Even active participation in politics is through attainment of education. Education is the key to success. I hear all the Ugandans, I hear all the people from Isingiro to ensure that the young generation will be mentored with their future prospects if they are backed up very well with the holistic package of education, where we have co-curricular activities. The component of co-curricular activities is embedded in the curriculum, whereby we emphasize the psychomotor, the social skills, and even the cognitive of the mental strengths to ensure that the children come up with the holistic package of education to support them for their survival in the future. Discipline is also very important, and we hear parents play their role so that the foundation body backs them up and the schools get adequate facilities so that these children are provided a conducive environment where teaching learning process takes place, and then we get effective leaders we get future prospects of the young generation who have attained the true education that will support them.